is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unspoiled, covering Penny Dreadful, Season 3, Episode 9. I don't fucking remember the name of this episode, and I don't fucking care. Sometimes I really hate my job. Welcome to Unspoiled. Holy shit. All right, I'm just going to go off here for a second because I watched this episode 2 weeks ago before I could record on it. And I warned Dan, I was like, you may as well just watch that shit right now. Don't save it. Don't build it up. Don't be excited because everything that it is and everything it will be is terrible.
To my credit, I tried to save it just a wee bit, but then I finally caved. And then I think I literally texted you after I finished it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. This is, I think I can say without any reservation, the worst finale of any show I've ever seen.
Oh, it is.
It is
it's real bad.
Shameful. And don't try to give me this we planned it bullshit, because anybody with two eyes and a functioning brain can see that you're full of shit. And it's not helping you save face. It makes you look like a dum-dum. If you think that it's better if you did plan it this way, it's not.
Yeah, that really isn't better.
No.
Yeah, this is it just reeks of we need to throw some shit together. It just, because they introduce new characters and do nothing with them. No. They spent the entire season keeping people apart so that when they're finally reunited, it's for like 2 seconds. It ruins any motivation that in particular the female characters had to have any sort of success.
I am like so fucking sheepish right now because somebody asked me what one of my favorite TV shows was for like a feminist message, and I was saying, well, right now Penny Dreadful. I take it all back. Apparently not. Apparently, it's only fun to give these women this intense motivation and character development to have it all taken away and mean nothing. Thanks, guys. And I just I understand what you're saying, Maggie, about like they just felt like they needed to throw some shit together. I cannot figure out how you could throw something together and have it still be this terrible. For me, like, you throw some shit together, that means you burn this motherfucker down. But they just are the most, like, wimpy, limp-dicked nothings in this episode.
I like
that fight is terrible. Like,
it's so boring.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I got validated from this fucking episode, the doctor is psychic somehow. She has superpowers.
I thought you were going to be excited about that.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing of verification that I feel great about.
See, I don't see that. I think she's just putting him under hypnosis again.
But she says, I know where they are when she sees a sign with the name on it. And that's when she comes out of the trance and says, I know where they are. And I was like, ooh, maybe Dan was right.
I'm not seeing that. I think it was just she heard his
listening to his clues.
Yeah.
But then why would they specifically do the thing where they show her in when she's walking alongside him and she looks at this sign?
Because he pauses.
Because that's cinematic. Like, that's just a thing they do. They don't just need to tell you everything.
No, sorry,
I don't buy it.
The sign and it does the pan zoom into her looking at it, and she squints and like she remembers where that is because it's an old slaughterhouse.
I know what happened. I know. I saw the episode. I know what happened, but I don't think that's her seeing it literally. I think that's her putting together the clues in her mind and her focusing and going, oh, I think I know where that is, and the sign being there is just like a metaphor. I'm sorry, I don't buy that at all.
I agree with you. I think it's. I don't like it. I don't like that they decided at the last second to be like, maybe she is actually witchy, because I don't think it matches up with her interactions with Vanessa in that hypnotic thing. Mm-hmm. But the way they filmed it really did make me go, oh.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me that if she can see that, then she wouldn't have thought that Vanessa was having a multiple personality disorder, because she would have been able to see what was actually happening.
I agree with you. It's a terrible episode.
Out of it.
Yeah.
She was kicked out of it.
She wasn't kicked out of it that early. Yeah, there was a whole thing going down with Lucifer and Dracula that took like a half hour.
She wasn't there for that. Because remember, she's like, Vanessa, I can't pull you out of it. And she was not present, but you could hear her voice out of body, kind of. You couldn't see her in it. So
but
she wasn't
you
with
hear Vanessa talking as if she's Dracula on the tape. Like, she is saying the dialogue from when Dracula shows up on the cylinder that later on what's-his-face is listening to by himself.
I think we can all agree this fucking show is just a horse shit.
I just
like we can't figure it out.
I'm just really like, there is so much that even if you did decide to be lazy with this finale, they had so much to work with.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what the fuck. Okay, I'm not even like interested in going through this beat by beat. Let's just talk about each character. John Clare. Oh, great. That was super satisfying. I mean, I pretty much saw it coming that once his kid died, his wife was going to be like, well, bring him back. But I kind of hoped that it would be a moment of Victor having learned his lesson and John unwillingly bringing his kid to Victor and Victor being like, no, I am not doing this. Sorry, I draw the line. This is a child and I'm not cool with it. And no, not participating. Even if John didn't bring his kid there, if John's wife figured out who Victor was and brought her child and Victor wouldn't do it, that would be something. But no, that's just...
When was the last time we even saw Victor interacting with him?
It's been basically an entire season, right?
Wow. Yeah, the entire season.
Yeah. He's just been off doing his own thing the whole time.
So he goes and like drops his kid off in the river and then realizes Vanessa died and goes to her grave. And that's that. Okay, moving on. So Vanessa.
And he's real sad. Womp womp.
What in the fuck is Vanessa even here for?
It bums me out.
This whole show has been centered around her being the mother of evil. And apparently that means standing in a hallway with some emo makeup on, looking sad with candles around you.
She looks half like, remember when she was in that sunken in face when she was possessed?
Mm-hmm.
It's like an upscaled that.
Yeah, she's a little more glam with it.
She's glamorous with it, not fucking whatever. But it's also kind of funny that like the opening scene with her and fucking Dracula and again those fucking vampire moves. I don't know why they're hissing, but because there's always like the snake sound effect when they're moving and doing that crouch shit, whatever. So it's like all that shit. Mm-hmm. It's very not necessary and. You know, it's not just Renfield who does it, apparently. And he's like, oh, I'm afraid. Or no, I'm not afraid. And then Vanessa's like, you are fucking afraid. Just don't fucking lie, you know. And then she's all like, I think from the get-go, like, because from the interaction, can we just say the spoiler? Can we just do it?
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah.
Guess
that's what the show is.
Vanessa fucking dies. She's like, go ahead and shoot me, Ethan, please. So Ethan has to kill her. And she's like, I planned this all like along, basically. Like this is the only way it can be.
Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Why Seriously, do you need him?
You literally just told him to bite you, and now you're gonna be like, oh, I fucked up, but then you can't do anything about it? That doesn't make any sense. He shoots you with a gun, he doesn't do anything magical.
This show, like, tiptoes right along the perimeter of actually making a statement about women's agency, and then they completely take it away every time.
Fucked it completely up.
Just what? Ethan's fucking whole mythology is about him being there to protect her. Have him see her about to kill herself, and he tries to intervene, and it's too late because she decided to do what she wanted to do, and he was still trying to fulfill his destiny. How the fuck does his mythology about being there to protect Vanessa make any fucking sense when he's the one who pulls the goddamn trigger on her? What the fuck is that about?
Yeah. No.
What?
I want listeners to know that Natasha's probably flailing around right
Literally
now.
flailing.
She's hitting things. You can hear the table shaking.
Oh, can I have another thing?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I was really happy about, though, because I'm still gonna maintain that the fucking doctor was psychic. I don't care about y'all. You can fight me about it. 2, fucking Kaitane and Malcolm, true dads, great dads, you know, killing stuff dads. I love the little line where he's like, "You would have made him fight Apache or Mighty Apache," and then he was like, "I had my teacher." Fucking like star-crossed eyes, and even like Ethan looks between them, and he's like almost like fucking dads, like, and he says, "Good luck."
Parents, you're embarrassing me.
I know, in front of Victor and all of them. Victor, who's again having very heavy red eyeliner to emphasize the fact that his eyes are sunken in or some shit.
Listen, this show probably bought fucking stock in like Wet and Wild because I don't remember this show looking as bad as it did this time. And I think it's just because I was so angry throughout that I was picking out things.
Yeah.
But
the lighting
I just don't.
different.
What
I
is
honestly think
Vanessa's
so
deal, guys? I seriously I can't let this go. The whole thing is about her being supposedly the mother of evil. But she never is evil.
No, she doesn't. It's not even like when Dracula turns her, it suddenly lets loose this demon spirit with the Egyptian mythology backstory
Amunet.
that we seem to have completely dropped.
Mm-hmm.
It's her, and she's kind of sad.
What?
My theory is that when the episode where they introduced Catriona, they got the memo like, guess what, guys, we're pulling the plug, and they're like, welp, what can we do? I really think that, because that's when everything seems to go downhill.
But I mean, like, if you're good, like I said, if you're gonna do it big. Have Vanessa be completely possessed by Amunet at this point, unable to protect herself, unable to control her own body, like anything.
Amunet is Egyptian for emo. Amu is emu. It's emo. I mean,
emu.
She's an emu. Surprise.
Actually emu. Well, with their dark feathers, or like that billowy dress she has, yes.
And then Dracula is like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight you." And then as soon as she dies, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm out," and he just bails.
He bails. He bounces.
He bails in the middle of the fight. He's got somebody by the throat. One of the people that he could very easily hold responsible for the death of apparently the love of his life. He has them in hand, and he lets them go because that makes sense for a killing machine monster for him to just be like, "Oh, you know what? I'm done."
You know what also doesn't make sense?
Anything.
All of it.
Particularly the hanging bodies when they go in
that was
to the
just
fucking
for
slaughterhouse.
Dicks.
Yeah, it's
extra
for dicks. A lot of the women there had shaved pubes, and I'm gonna call foul.
Oh, fair.
I'm gonna call foul. I do not think.
I'm so tired of shaved pubes and period stuff. It makes me so crazy.
I think I don't think it exists. I think a trim could happen.
Sure.
But a full fucking shave without some nicks and cuts.
Yeah.
I just like.
So we did get confirmation. Kaitane did turn Ethan.
Right, but he doesn't do it for vengeance. He does it because he thinks that Ethan is meant to save everyone. Which is super great because let's just do the fucking white savior thing too on top of it all on this last episode. Let's just fucking add that fucking cherry on top. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's include a Native American in this story just so that he can pass on his magic to the white man who's the answer. Oh, cool. Yeah.
I've never heard so much audio
interference
of anger.
I just like, the more I talk about this, the more angry I get. Sitting through it a second time, it was so bad the first time. I was sitting there in utter shock. Like, I kept pressing pause and checking how many minutes were left because I kept hoping they were going to somehow salvage it. I kept hoping there was something left, that they were going to turn around and have her get shot, but then like reappear as Amunet, like incorporeal somehow, having possessed somebody else. Anything.
You know what's also really dumb? They still call him Dr. Sweets in the fucking captions.
Do they really? I didn't even notice that.
I didn't even notice that until just now. So I'm midway through. I'm at the big fight because I wanted to fucking talk about that shit. And so you know how he's standing over in that little alcove? Mm-hmm. Is that how you say it? Alcove?
Yeah.
And he's like, Sir Malcolm and all that shit or whatever. And it says Dr. Sweets in brackets.
Oh, that's super funny.
And these fucking vampire moves. Like, I don't know, if you actually want to find something really funny, if you're pulling this up, I want to find the minute mark. So it's 31:04, and it's right before when like all the vampires come and rushing in. If you watch the one where we see Catriona and she's staring at one, he actually fumbles. That's how lazy the editing in this fucking episode is, because they've given up. They've completely given up. The fucking vampire does a little flippy flip thing, but he falls, and you see him actually pick himself back up from his fumble. We have full panning of that, and and it's fucking ridiculous.
I have not been this bored during what's supposed to be an epic fight scene since the first and last time I saw a Transformers movie. This was like,
That's way harsh,
that is way harsh. This is worse than a Transformers movie.
I completely tuned half of it out, to the point the first time watching it that I realized what was happening and had to stop and rewind it to watch it, because I was just like, I missed that, I guess. And then
this is the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did it again. I did it a second time, playing it again. I spaced out again on my phone and then realized I had missed it again. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just didn't go back. I was just like, apparently it's not enough to worry about, so it's fine. And third time I was like, all right, let me focus. Since I missed it the first 2 times, nope. Didn't. Still missed it.
The horrible ineptitude of a fucking goddamn Victor Frankenstein. He can't even fight right. He's getting his ass saved from everyone. Everyone gives a shot of saving him. Anthony, Malcolm, Catriona, the doctor. It's fucking ridiculous.
Let's talk about what the fuck Victor is even fucking doing here. Because Victor, you're not part of this. This isn't for you. You only just happen to be in the same building because this contrived ass shit is ridiculous. And
his resolution with Hyde.
Oh my god.
So dumb.
We never even got to see, like Jekyll and shit like that. Like, we never got to see that.
Nope.
Because I thought when he actually was gonna raising his voice, I thought, we're gonna see it now.
Well, he is Jekyll, so we didn't get to see Hyde.
No,
Hyde,
Hyde. Okay, that's that. Yeah, Lord Hyde is the asshole.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like, oh, well, they were both contained in him to begin with. He's both simultaneously. So you all thought it was going to be a science magic thing, and nope, it's just this is what man is, the duality of him. Like, who gives a fuck?
I thought perhaps maybe he was using the experiments on himself, because I think that if I remember correctly, that's the whole point, right? He experiments on himself. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. I just I can't get over the hilarious delivery of, I guess I should call you by your name. It's appropriate. I'll see you soon, Lord Hyde. And the show sits back like, get a load of that. You didn't see that coming, did you?
And he
Bet you didn't know.
Away like a fucking flurry. Like he kind of sashays away.
How are you gonna fucking drop his name? That's the reveal. You just have to say it, and that should be enough. We don't see it ever. It's just that you said it. So, wow. Wow. What a show.
And
there is not an instant of this show that didn't make me fucking furious.
I don't know. I don't know if we're left to assume that, because Victor says, like, I don't think, like, you know, scientific success is not going to make them change how they think of you. Basically saying, because you're brown.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it just kind of like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like, he's only Jekyll and Hyde and like assumed to be the super angry person because he is brown, basically. Because like, again, around that time, you know, they had a lot of not so pleasurable propaganda about like brown people and black people are crazy. They're maniacal and like they can't be tamed and all that shit. So I don't know if it was supposed to be like that, because they also, again, not very clear. Yeah. And it would have been kind of cool if they kind of pulled it at that angle, that he's not really, you know, a monster or whatever, or he doesn't have two sides of him. It's really just fucking society's perception.
Or how about that he's been administering that shit on himself because he is so out of control, angry all the time, that now he's like addicted to his own drug. Yeah. How about that? You know, like, cool, fucking anything, guys. I'm just spitballing off the literal top of my head. I didn't even think of that until 30 seconds ago. And that is better than the bullshit you just gave us. And,
so,
okay, fucking...
You want to talk about Dorian? I was just
Dorian,
to say,
because that was where I was going, because basically, Victor, the show is, what they're trying to do is be like, oh, well, we're going to put the kibosh on all the horrible shit that you saw Victor doing all fucking season long, have Lily forgive him and give him a kiss, and now he's just back to being one of the good guys, and we're going to drop him back in our merry band of misfits over here.
Yep.
Like, we just forgive him now. Like, I just forgot that he almost enslaved a woman, and only by the spirit of her, like, confessing one of the deepest, darkest secrets of her heart did he not do that. Not because he had a, like, self-revelation, really. We didn't see him doing any reflection. She convinces him not to do this thing, and now we're just supposed to be fine with him. Like, he just went through this, like, gauntlet, and now he's out on the other side having learned. No, I didn't see any of that. So you don't get to just give him a weapon and throw him in the fray and act like I give a shit if he lives or dies. Because frankly, I was hoping that he would get eaten and I wouldn't have to see his dumb face. And from there, after Lily gives him a kiss and forgives him, what does she do? She gives Dorian a kiss and forgives Dorian.
Yup.
Fuck you. Fuck you, show. Fuck you right up the fucking ass.
And we're meant to be, like, feeling sorry for Dorian. Like,
right.
Oh, all that's left there is him. Like,
and he's like, it's so sad being immortal. Oh. Like, you don't have fucking control over that. Destroy your painting, asshole. You don't have to be this.
You don't have to be that. You can die. Go ahead and die.
Well, I can't. I'm not allowed to care for anything now because I live so long. It's I just then fucking kill yourself. Then just get rid of it all. This is completely within your control. Do not write this fucking script like I'm supposed to feel sorry for him for his crazy privilege and wealth and beauty and everything that he has. No tears.
Yep.
I literally just took a sip of tea.
Actually, let me take a sip of something too, because I will apologize if I'm not enunciating as well as I do. I bit my mouth, or like I bit my tongue, and
no.
so when I talk, it rubs against the side of my tooth where I bit, and I'm like, no.
I totally know what you're talking. I've done that before. And then your tongue swells up and you can't get it like out of the way when you're trying to talk.
Exactly. So so my solution is to do tiny mouth movements. And I'm not enunciating as well as I could be, I think. But yeah, I apologize.
Guys, how did this show, like, I feel betrayed.
I feel betrayed by Maggie. Most of them. She could have fucking warned us. She could have fucking done a lot of shit for us, Natasha.
There is a reason that the show is named Unspoiled. I couldn't tell you guys.
Oh
you
my
could tell us
God.
that, but you could have just let us know, like, you're not going to like the ending.
No.
Or you're not.
No, she can't. She can't.
Just
Because, like, we're supposed to go through it as if we're watching it on television with everyone else. And nobody else, when this aired, would ever know how fucking incompetent this was going to be. I just can't. I feel like I thought this show got me, and then they just shit in my face.
Yeah.
They took every single storyline that I cared at all about, threw it out the window, pissed on it as it went down, and then took the couple threads that I really could not care about. And they were like, well, this is the thing now. And I'm like, how? How are you going to have fucking Lily, the basically avatar of feminist rage, kiss and forgive Victor? And even that, I can maybe forgive just because of their history together. But I just really don't want to. But let's just say I gave them that. How are you going to have her walk into fucking Dorian's house with her protege dead on the floor and have a little chat with him?
And he didn't clean it up.
No, he left her there
He
purposely
left
because
her-
I think he knew Lily was going to get out of it. So basically, all he wanted was to show Lily that she was powerless. It was a complete ego thing. He just was pissed at her, destroyed the work of her heart, destroyed the girl that she said felt like a piece of her, sat there and laughed about it, and she literally has a moment where she's laughing along with him.
Yeah, that whole scene just I was just staring at it. I was like, why are you still acting like there's any sort of camaraderie here? He totally sold you out. He sold you into slavery, lady.
Oh my
Like, why are you not coming back to go burn that fucking painting?
That's the thing. Instead of turning the fucking little photograph on, she should have just fucking, like, I don't know, dropped over some alcohol and, like, lit a match and, like, let the whole thing burn. Because
Like-
Dorian was like, you're going to come back and I'll be here.
Why will he be here? Why doesn't she do anything? It doesn't make the slightest bit of sense that we have never... Okay, Dorian's immortal. Fine. He can recover from any wound, whatever.
I
Fine.
think he can still cut his head off.
But
That's the
even...
thing. Has no one tried?
Like,
Yeah, we-
if he, at least that would slow him down, right? And give you time to get to the painting, which you know exactly where it is, because there's really not a chance he can move that thing.
Does she
So-
know where the painting is? Has she
No.
seen?
No,
She
she
never
hasn't.
saw the painting.
She was standing in the room when he went and got up and repaired the ear that she bit off. And the entrance to that room is in the
very
ballroom.
beginning.
Okay.
So she knows right where it is. And
There's
we
something
have
there.
not seen any evidence that Dorian has the super strength that she
would've been-
has.
It would have been so great. Well, maybe kind of, because he snapped that neck pretty easily.
Snapping a neck if somebody's totally not fighting back is not that hard. It's like easy enough
Really,
to do that
Natasha?
people will do it by
Really,
accident.
You know this
Listen,
from experience?
Nobody asked me any questions about it, but I'll just say that I know a thing.
perhaps? You know a thing.
But yeah, I don't see that he could stand up to her in a straight fight. If she came in there
No.
blazing like she should have been, she could have taken him out easy. I don't buy it. And that would have been such a satisfying moment. How are we supposed to go on with her cowed by him and walking away and leaving him standing there gloating? What are we supposed to believe? That immortality is his punishment?
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed
That's
to take away
basically
from
what
this?
they're
Even
saying,
though he's
yeah.
choosing to.
Yeah.
Because in the book, in the fucking book, so, like, this is the other thing that's confusing too, is, like, he, like, the fucking story kind of show, like, or the show sets up that he might be older than what he looks like. But in the book, he's only fucking from the Victorian era.
Yeah.
And he's just, and whatnot. But the show makes it seem like he's like, I've seen regimes fall and all this other
Right.
shit.
Mhm.
That he's probably been around
Like
for
ancient.
fucking ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's possibly ancient. And so, two things in the show the movie not movie, fucking book Dorian Gray. He chose to do that, and then he chooses to not do it, and then that's when he switches places with the painting, and he becomes really old and decrepit and kind of ash, I think. And then the portrait shows a young version of him, and that's where we get the line of like, and I've become, like them. And then he's like, I don't want to be that, and then switches, whatever. So it's his choice. It's not something foisted upon him,
and it doesn't count as a punishment if it's something that he has under his control to be able to undo. You don't punish somebody by locking them up and then hand them the key to their own prison and be like, well, once you're done with your punishment, I'm sure that you'll know and you'll take care of it. What? What? And what are we supposed to think that Lily is going to go do now? Are we supposed to believe
that wanders off?
That she's just like done? That she's not going to try another insurrection because these guys proved that it's impossible because they're just shitbirds? Like,
and that's the other thing that's frustrating too, because one, we don't know the consequences. Like, I think he thinks that she's immortal too. She may be immortal, and that's the thing too. I'm kind of glad that the kid didn't get changed because, again, who wants to be eternity? We've seen that with fucking Interview with the Vampire. That shit that goes down with a little kid who's fucking immortal. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd be angry as all hell if I was a little boy all my life. Mm-hmm. I don't understand this. I'm gonna press play to see this fucking fight again because it's a fucking train wreck. I'm really upset because I don't get to know Catriona at all. She seems, I think she is a lesbian because she looked very happy with the doctor pulling out that gun, and like a smile that says like, oh, I respect you, and I'm mildly attracted right now.
Can I mention? So you guys were talking about her potentially being a time traveler or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the last name Hartigan is the last name of a character in the H.G. Wells story about time travel, whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah,
you were correct.
Yeah. So, but they don't do anything with her. They just they end the show, and she is worthless and pointless. And so I assume that's sort of where they were going with that, but who fucking knows?
How do you try to tell your audience that you planned this? How do you sit there and think that makes anything better than just admitting we didn't expect to get canceled? Just admit you didn't. What does this do for you?
I don't know.
I really this is a legitimate question. This isn't like a rhetorical like, why would you ever do that? No, I'm legitimately asking, as a writer, why would you pretend that you did this on purpose? Because it's so terrible, and if you're trying to go out there and get work, who the fuck wants to hire you if they think this is how you plan things?
Yeah.
What was the goal in lying like that? Because it's so obviously a lie.
Do you think who's the guy who plays Mr. Malcolm Murray?
T. Daltz.
T. Daltz, yes, Timothy Dalton. Thank you. See, I love that. Like, what's it called when you make a thing to remember a thing?
Wow, this is really. You're so far on the outskirts of any detail I could grasp that I don't even know where to.
Like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
An acronym?
Yes.
What? Acronym. You say that again? No, not an acronym, but like it's like the special like studying device.
Like a mnemonic device?
Yeah, mnemonic. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Device. It's a mnemonic. I like how T. Daltz is like my mnemonic device for subsequently remembering it's Timothy Dalton, his full name. Yeah, like I wonder if he like crosses this off on his like his giant like I do you think he tries to go into IMDb and edit himself out?
I mean, like the thing is, the rest of the show is so great that this episode and the last episode hinted at some of the absolute bullshit that was coming, but I just didn't think that they could fly straight down the side of a cliff quite so fast. So I wouldn't think that he'd be ashamed of the whole season, but there's no way that you can be proud, right? Like, I just don't understand why you would lie. Like, I'm going back to that. I don't understand the like thinking that you're saving face in any way by saying that. To me, that's way worse. That's just that you're bad at this. That's just all there is to it. There's one that's out of your control, and you can just be like, well, we had this plan and it didn't work out. And shit happens. We get that. To try and act like you meant this is just really baffling to me. And again, with Vanessa, the entire series is built around her and this struggle for her soul and this creature that lives inside her that possesses her. And then once she's finally given over, that creature is just gone. Not even a factor. Mm-hmm. Not showing even a glimpse of herself. We're just supposed to believe that Amunet is there because she's got some heavy makeup on her eyes, I guess.
In a wardrobe. Like, so she's in this room, which must have been hot as fucking balls, because it's all these goddamn candles. And like, they've been burning for quite a bit. Was she just fucking waiting for them to, like, burn this fucker down, I guess? I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. She's literally just standing there waiting.
Yeah. And she's telling Ethan, like, this is how it has to be, because it's going to end in blood, which is what it was foretold. But then she's also like, we write our own heaven and hell and all this other shit, and that forget prophecies. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very contradictory. And she does have a beautiful dress on. Like, it is very
apparently
lovely.
When you upgrade to Mother of Evil, you get a giant, what is it? It's white, right? Like, she'd been wearing black all the time, and now she's wearing white.
Yeah, she's wearing black.
It's like, it's sort of tea colored.
Gray. Yeah,
okay.
It's like tea colored gray, and like it looks like the kind of white that's on the tea bag that you use. Like, It's very cute and very fitting for her, like, pale skin and her red fucking
her emo eyeliner.
Oh
yeah,
my God. They basically
she really
just
does
like
look like that My Chemical Romance shit. Remember that? What was it? I forgot. Is it Black Parade where he has the red makeup on? I think it was.
I don't know enough about My Chemical Romance to be able to say one way or the other.
I'm trying to tap into Teen Dan, 15-year-old Dan, to remember that knowledge, and it's just escaping me. And Ethan and his perfect fucking little hair, and it's very 2000.
Listen, can we talk about how early on in the episode this fight happens? How early on in the episode she dies?
Yeah. It's let me get a timestamp for it, actually.
There's still at least 10 to 15 minutes left of them just being sad and shit.
Exact timestamp is 42:41, and we have 13 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Yeah.
There is a scene later on where our dudes are just hanging out in the house being sad. Mm-hmm. I did not come here for this shit.
But they're real sad. They're so sad.
They're so sad.
They
go to her
don't
and they're sad.
Fucking give a shit. How... Again, we're going to make Vanessa the entire point of the show, but then the big final episode where she dies, she's not even the center of it. They are. Them being fucking mopey is the focus of the episode.
Okay. This whole episode's gone to shit. If you look at John Clare's makeup when he puts his kid's body in the ocean,
mm-hmm.
The close up of him kind of crying, they don't even blend in the lines for the fucking latex anymore. Like, I need to get a screen capture of this and to put it on the fucking group. I have to, because it's fucking ridiculous. Like, they just stopped caring. They just stopped caring.
Why?
And Vanessa gets buried, and it's sad.
I guess. Like, I can't even be sad about it because the show ruined her so completely in such a short span of time. It was basically from her realizing who Sweets was and fucking him before that really quickly and not picking up on how weird it was that she didn't have nightmares that night or anything. Just how she was just being really stupid and un-Vanessa-like. That they, created this woman for the first 2 seasons who was suspicious and canny and always on her guard. And then they just realized, well, that's not really going to work if we have to have her, give herself up, I guess, because God forbid she choose to give herself up like totally knowingly. It has to be partially accidental because she was tricked, I guess. So we're going to take away her agency in that she's tricked and temporarily stupid. And then we're going to take away her agency in that she just has to wait around for Ethan to get back to kill her.
I'm trying to see in the credits where it says, ha ha ha, fuck all of you. One thing you like to know. Oops, there's like someone driving. It was filmed in Ireland, in the support and incentives for the Irish film industry provided by the government of Ireland, in participation with Canada.
What are you doing? Are you just reading the credits right now?
A little bit. And then guess what? To blame this fucking shitfest on, you can go to Desert Wolf Productions. And what's the next one? Desert Wolf Productions. And Neil Street Productions.
I'm just going to let this play out.
Media company. And you can call them, look up their fucking names, call them, and tell them how fucking unnecessary this was.
I think given that we don't know any of their names, that's a good sign that they did not gain the appropriate sort of notoriety for us to really have to worry about them doing other crap because they fucked this up so hardcore.
I wonder if they're still I wonder if it still exists, that fucking Desert Wolf Productions. Like, was this the fucking thing?
Like, how could it just crash and burn so badly? I blamed so much of it on, the whole season as a whole, with a couple of really important, notable exceptions of a couple really good episodes, I think is a failed season.
Mm-hmm.
Because they spent so much time keeping these characters apart that by the time they come back, it should be this whole really important thing, and it just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time we spent with Ethan, he was not him. He wasn't Ethan. No. And can I point out again that how hilarious it is that apparently the only prayer that either Ethan or the writers of the show know is the Lord's Prayer.
Oh my God. When he started to recite that shit, I was ready to fucking throw myself out a window.
At least he didn't do his improv version that he and Hecate came up with.
Oh my God. How did that go again? It was so lame.
Like, our Father who art in hell. And she was like, yes.
It sounds like, you and your goth girlfriend are like thinking like, let's be Satanists. And like, you've tried to fucking,
before
do
they have to go to work
shit
at the Cinnabon at the mall. Like, they're just the lamest. Yeah.
That's literally, I think, what I said during the recording of that episode, that I was like, this is like a petulant teenager.
Yeah.
Like, we're supposed to take him seriously? Like, we're actually, either worried for his soul or really believing that this is doing it for Hecate? Okay. Sure. So, yeah, he starts to do it again, and I think that what the show is trying to do is be like, oh yeah, he's reciting the Lord's Prayer the right way now because he's with Vanessa instead of the evil way that he said it before. But all you're doing is reminding us of that terrible fucking idiotic moment that nobody found impressive or even sinister. It was just hysterical.
It was just comical.
Just don't.
I need to I feel like I need to take a shower.
I cannot emphasize enough how personally I took this failure. Like, I was so invested at the very least in Lily's storyline.
Right, I was just about to say.
I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how important I felt that was. And how excited I was that the show was doing some shit that felt brave to me.
Yeah. And for them to be like, nope, the guys are going to fuck it up and she's just going to give up.
And she's just going to be like, well, I tried. And just, like, leave.
Do you think this is what being a heterosexual woman is basically like? Being set up for disappointment, basically? Is there some sort of deeper meaning in doing all this?
As a heterosexual woman, apparently. This show is part and parcel with their own message, I guess. So congratulations, show. You've proven that I shouldn't hope or care about anything. Congratulations.
Should I I feel like I need to dip myself in something, like, to get away from this. Like, I don't know what to do. It feels so disappointing.
I don't know if anybody out there, if a single solitary one of you liked this episode, you should just stop listening to Unspoiled.
Oh, I was
just give it up.
Help me figure out why.
No,
why?
Don't even try and argue the point with me. Don't even try to be like, well, there was this. Nope, there wasn't that. That was not.
Guys, you can argue it with me. Natasha just always gets all the arguing, and it's not fair. I'll take you up on it if you really want to plead the case for it. But I just don't see how you can. It is just a failure in every single way.
So I'm no longer obligated to think about Penny Dreadful after this recording. Would you guys let me make an emotional block? That this never happened. Like, I never watched this episode. Like,
I wish that I could have that block end at season 2, the finale of season 2. If you want to, I hate to do it because, like,
I think I could psychologically. I mean, I've done it before with some shit, like some of my past. Like, how hard could it be to do this? Like, how hard could it be to, like, just block this out? I'll remember,
so sad that we have to do this at all.
Yeah.
I remember doing a podcast with Natasha. I think it was good. And just, like,
false.
I don't know. It just, like, that's it. Like, if I try to recall, like, the last bit of it,
yeah,
like, I'll remember.
So you want us to do the TV equivalent of, like, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where we just delete this one bad memory?
Yeah, that this happened. And I'll always be like, how did that show end? I don't know.
Yeah. I really like that show. It's a shame I never watched the last episode.
Exactly. So if I'm gonna start psychologically trying to do that, and
maybe make it like it's not. There is no last episode. Like, it got lost.
It got lost. They just pulled the plug prematurely, and, like, we never know, and so we're just left kind of hanging. And so now it's just fan fiction. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know how you guys are going to survive from here on out. I don't know what you're going to do. But, I mean, I don't even know how Maggie lasted this fucking long. To rewatch it? Like,
yeah, honestly,
it took me 3 attempts to rewatch this episode. I had to split it into 3 parts. I started rewatching it after Natasha first sent me the message going, oh my god, what the fuck was that, basically. I was like, oh, okay, I should rewatch it so I can have a conversation with her about it. And then I started watching it, and then I was like, no, I can't do this right now. And then last week I started watching it on Sunday, and I went, oh wait, I don't have to record on this tomorrow because Natasha's on vacation. Fuck this. And turned it off after like 10 minutes. And so then yesterday I was like, okay, I do actually have to watch it now. And I was not happy about it. It was not fun.
I just I can't imagine putting myself through watching this whole show again, knowing where it ends up.
Well, I guess I'm just sort of pretending that it didn't end as badly as it did, because there was so much that was enjoyable, especially in the first 2 seasons. But this whole season, rewatching it has been a real bummer, because it has just constantly been reminding me of all the things that just didn't pan out, and how flat it fell in the end.
I think Netflix knows how horrible this episode was, because you want to know what it recommended me?
What?
It said, if you liked this, here's one of our new releases. And it's I Am Michael with James Franco and the cute Spock guy, Zach. What is his name?
Zachary Quinto.
Thank you, Quinto. And he plays the quote unquote gay activist Michael Glatz, who renounces sexuality to choose heterosexuality.
Oh, that sounds like something you'd love.
Exactly. It seems like, is this what this episode is?
That is a Dan joint right there, I gotta say. Like, yup.
Is that what this episode is? Is this trying to make me straight? Like, is this like saying, like, this is how horrible it is? Like, that's the only thing I could understand, is if this is what the fucking writers were trying to do. Was it trying to make me so disappointed with Ethan Chandler to somehow renounce my homosexuality? I don't know if this is like like I said, I'm probably assuming a lot of quote unquote algorithms, and possibly that there's somehow a conspiracy. I think at this point I'm allowed to think that there's a conspiracy going on, because this fucking episode was horrible. How else could this be a horrible episode if it was not for a conspiracy?
And they're out to get you specifically.
They're out to specifically get me and ruin shit that I liked, which was this show. I liked this show.
That's a shame.
I genuinely liked this show.
Well, that's it, everyone.
Like, I don't really know what else to say.
I really don't.
Could you even come up with theories, Natasha, of why this was so like what they could have?
I can't. Like I said,
no?
If you want to go out with a bang, if you're just like, well, whatever, we're canceled, let's just do some crazy shit, then do some crazy shit. Then do it then. What is this flaccid nonsense? You didn't take a stand on anything. All you did was just go, well, I don't know. She's like, she just leaves. I don't know. She just like lets him kill her. I don't know. He's says he's Dr. Hyde, and then he just walks out.
Dracula doesn't even die.
Dracula just is, he's just gonna bounce. Everything ended in a whimper.
I'm gonna cry.
Like, cry.
I'm crying at the fact that, like, as a writer, and I'm working on my own shit right now for creativity. Like, what level of despair and wretchedness would I have to be to just let my creation just be like, meh, like, just to be like this nonchalantly, like if I was the writer or creator of this fucking show, I would have just ended it. Like, I would, like I said, I would not have had that last episode. It would just be, okay, it's done. Like
yeah, they canceled us. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Because I'm not going to ruin the fucking integrity of my goddamn creation.
This is the question that I ask more than any other as I get older, is where is your shame? And that's what I want to ask these writers. Where is your shame? How could you do this to yourself?
Who was behind the camera directing this and watching this and letting these shots go? Who is It's not just the writers to blame. It's everyone along this fucking like little path, except the actors. The actors, I really can't even fucking like condemn them because
they did their best.
They did their best.
I will say the one good moment in this whole episode was when Patty LuPone just said "fuck him" about Dracula.
Oh, that was a good moment.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
And like to the cutting room floor, it was shit. Like you're letting it in close-up shots where the makeup's not even good, and like where goofs are happening like that.
The special effect of the fog, disappearing from the city is terrible.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
it's like step by step, everyone was just like, no.
I would. You know what? The only thing that could make sense for this is that if this episode was compiled out of cut scenes from the rest of season 3, if they had like, this was all stuff that they just had, and then they just were like, well, I'm sure we can assemble this in something like approaching a coherent episode. We'll do that.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah.
It's like I'm just sitting here stunned because I just.
So yeah,
2 different times.
That's that, guys. That's me. Really, yeah. Oh my god. All I can say is that at least where this show took some things has given me some ideas for the book that I'm writing. So that's something. Is that I'm hoping that I can take this pile of diamonds that they had in their hand and flush down the toilet, and I can go fucking in my waders through the sewers and try and find some of them and put them in a setting for you at some point in my life. That's the most dearest hope of my heart.
The only absolving point of this is if you think your art is shit, or that you can't draw that well, or that your writing's not that great, guess what? Your writing is significantly better than something that was produced and put on the fucking, Showtime. It's official. You're better than them. That's all you can take away from this episode.
That is a constant bummer to me, to be honest. It's like the number of things that I see actually people being paid to write and that get produced are just objectively worse than work that I've done. But I'm not getting paid $30,000 for it, Right. So,
and I bet you by the listeners too, for everyone to just be like, guess what? You're all better than this episode. Every single each and one of you.
But is that that's what I mean? Is that encouraging? Because that just depresses me even more.
It does depress. It depresses me a little bit.
I'm just yeah, I am better, and yet here I sit, not even able to pay my student loan.
Whereas these guys got the chance to do this for 3 seasons and biffed it so badly at the end.
And it's not going to hurt their bank either. It's not going to hurt them.
Biffed it.
They did.
You biffed it good.
I love you guys so much.
What are you up to, Maggie?
What am I up to? For the day, for the evening?
No, for shit you're working on.
For shit I'm working on?
Yeah.
I'm working on making my child make it through this last week before his summer school starts. That's what I'm working on.
Keeping your children alive. Yeah.
Keeping my children alive. That's my work. No, I mean, on a creative perspective, I actually am about to start helping my aunt write a family history of some old family stories and backgrounds and stuff that we're getting from our great aunt before she dies.
That's fun.
So yeah, she's done genealogies and stuff of our whole family. My aunt, who I'll be writing this with, and she's like, "You're a better writer than I am, so I want you to help me write it." So that is a creative project I'm taking on.
That's cool.
At some point in the near future. So I don't think it's going to rock the creative world the way that Penny Dreadful did, but I can at least assume it will be better written than this last episode. Yes.
And Natasha, how are you doing with your book?
It's I'm taking part in Camp NaNoWriMo right now, which is always when I'm able to actually focus. And
I've never been able. I am always impressed by people who go to NaNoWriMo and are like, "Yep, this is it. I'm going to be able to do this, and it's totally going to focus me to work on my project." I'm like, I would totally fail at it, and then it would just depress me.
It's really because they say it's like, you won NaNoWriMo if you reached your word goal. And I won it in April. And then I had gotten into the habit of getting up and writing first thing in the morning. And I thought that, I won. I did it for a straight month. I got this. Nope. Apparently, unless I have NaNoWriMo to check in with every day, I'm just like, no, I don't think so. Not today. So
I'm glad it does work for you.
It works because I need somebody up my ass, apparently. Yeah. I am...
Friends always ask me to join it and do it, and I'm like, nah, fam, I'm good. Mostly because, again, I would just feel like, oh, great, something other than my mother I can let down.
What are you working on, Dan?
Okay. So I actually bit the bullet and bought a domain name. Yes.
Oh my god, I saw that.
You saw that?
I did see that.
Do you want to say what it is?
Feelings and fellatio.com.
I'm gonna do my own podcast about feelings and fellatio.
That's
not really
such a good
fellatio,
name.
But and I have we're gonna be launching soon. We got enough of a back order of episodes that we can start possibly launching weekly. It's called That Gay Shit. It's where we talk about gay subtext and actually just queer media itself too. And it's me and my friend Hayden and Alicia, and it's pretty fun. And I also tentatively got another domain name for a podcasting network I'm going to be launching.
Oh, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, this is new. It's happened within 48 hours. I was like, oh, so many people made fucking podcast networks. Like, what the fuck? Like, can I not make one too?
Right.
And so me and some of my other friends who are making podcasts, we're not really doing it's more of like a podcasting co-op, if you will. Like, we're not pool sharing money or anything like that. It's more of creatively we support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be sister podcasts basically.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then you've got a lot of things on your burners there.
I do. A lot of creative shit. I'm actually kind of feeling very I should support my creativity and do creative shit.
Yeah, that I highly recommend to anybody who's like, well, why can't I do that? You can. Go ahead.
Because do it. And if you don't believe me, message me. And I'll be like, just fucking do it. And I'll give you a picture of Sheldon, because Sheldon will also tell you that you can do it.
Aw, Sheldon. What are you doing?
When you banged the table, Sheldon heard it, and he looked at me very concerned.
Sorry, Sheldon. My
it's
bad.
Okay.
My bad, bro.
I don't think he minds. I don't think he minds. He was just more concerned of why is Natasha so angry?
Oh man, Sheldon. I'm so sorry that you had to hear that.
Know.
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have put that bad example out there for you to see.
You're gonna be a bad example for poor, susceptible Sheldon.
Right?
Suddenly bangs his paws on tables.
I was so mad that he could hear me through That's no bueno. Sorry, everybody, if I blew your eardrums out.
Oh, no. It wasn't that. I have one ear off and one ear on, and my volume is pretty loud in general. And Sheldon was right next to me. So, it wasn't that it was so loud or anything, or that you hurt anyone's eardrums. It was just, he was like, huh? What's going
on? All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
I really wish it didn't have to be this way. But it is this way. And sometimes we just get our hearts broken.
Sometimes when we touch. How it goes? I don't know.
Sometimes things just don't work out, and you just have to sit there and let somebody just crush your heart and spit in your face. So, lesson learned.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Penny Dreadful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for teaching me to not have faith ever again. Appreciate it. You're great.
Woo!
Now I'm gonna have to go drink myself into a stupor to get to that psychological block.
Oh God! All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. I hope, despite our hatred of this episode, you enjoyed listening to us be angry. And we won't see you next week.
The show was great, except this episode.
Bye, everybody. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Bye.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.